Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Adriana, where I do lifestyle videos, DIYs every now and then, and reviews. And today, as you can tell by the title of the video, I am going to be talking about my experience with Smile Direct Club. This is a part 2 to a video and I will link it in the cards. Feel free to check out that video after this one is done. So we're just going to talk about my experience. It's been a year since I was projected to finish out my treatment. And yeah, so now I'm just gonna talk about whether it was worth it, if I regret anything, and just answer a bunch of frequently asked questions. Thank you for all the support that I've gotten on that last video. Thank you for all the support that I got on that last video. I get DMs on my Instagram, like people reaching out to me, have all types of questions, because it's really easy to just see a bunch of force-fed type of reviews regarding the Smile Direct Club stuff. So this is gonna be honest. No one reached out to me, and yeah, we're just gonna get into it. But if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button so you can stay tuned with whatever I post. And yeah, let's just get into this because I got a few things to say. So much has happened between the time that I posted that last video and now. So I'm looking back at my timeline just to make sure that I have everything right. I started August 28th, 2019. That's when I started, and I was projected to be done 5 to 6 months. Okay, so August, September, October, November, December, January, February. February 2020, I guess, is when I finished. And this last entire year, I have done a lot of back and forth with Smile Direct. I'm not gonna sit here and like bash this company because I truly do believe that they did everything that they could. But I feel like if you have more concerns, if you haven't watched the last video, I'm gonna put a picture of my smile before. And as you can see, this is my smile now. You see that? There's still a little bit of a gap there. Once you're like done with your treatment, it's really hard to just like stay on top of wearing your retainers because like you just want your mouth to be free. And honestly, I don't think I will ever have a gapless smile, which is okay. The gap is small, it still gives me a little bit of character, but at least I feel more confident than I did before I ever got Smile Direct. Like I don't mind being candids, like laughing. Before, my candids used to be like you know what I mean? Yeah, something that I mentioned in the last video is that my dentist, so not affiliated with Smile Direct, but like my personal dentist, when I was talking to him about options about closing my gap, I was like, so do I need braces? Can I get Invisalign or clear aligners? Like, what can I do to get rid of this gap? And he was like, honestly, you've got a diastema, and this is going to be important if your teeth are similar to what my teeth used to look like, or if you have a diastema. I'm gonna show you what that is. It's gonna be kind of gross. You see that? Okay, my teeth look yellow, but I promise you they're not. This. When my dentist first told me that, I was like, okay, it's just like a little piece of tissue, like that can't be it. But now it absolutely is it. I feel it all the time, and you can see mine was very prominent and defined. So if yours is higher, then it probably won't affect your gap as much as mine clearly has. But as you can see, mine was really low, and she's strong. That tissue, that gum, that's what's essentially separating my teeth, and it's preventing my teeth from fully being closed, which for a lot of people might sound concerning. But I think if you have like major concerns with your smile, or if you have a diastema, like you're very likely that your smile is going to move around throughout the day. Even though I have popped my retainers in and out for the last 2 years, considering my situation, every time I pop those aligners back in, it is kind of painful because it's not like my teeth are staying still the entire day. They're slowly moving back. Like I said, I don't think that I could fully blame Smile Direct, but I do think when I went to the consultation, which is the first thing that I do, or the first thing that you will do if you have a smile center near you, that a professional should have addressed or like marked for a point of concern. But you know, companies, they just want their money. So That could have been something that was just easily like looked over or ignored, which is probably not the greatest thing, especially as a consumer who's spending upwards of $2,000 to fix their smile. This is like an alternative that I trusted outside of all the others that exist. I'm gonna answer a few frequently asked questions that were asked to me directly in my inbox, that people have left in the last video a lot of times, and that people just have in general when they're doing their research for clear aligners and ways to close their gap or rearrange their teeth. So I was just mentioning the Smile Center, so I'm gonna I'll try to answer frequently asked questions in the order in which this process goes. So the first will be, it's not necessarily a question, but I'll just kind of make them points. The Smile Center, and just like the startup process of it, you either have the option of doing the impression kit or going to the Smile Center if you have one in your city. I feel like those are more likely going to be present in like bigger cities. I live in DC, so there's one in DC. Like, you know, I live in an area where that's easily accessible. If you live in like Baltimore, New York City, LA, things like that, I imagine that they would have a Smile Center near you, and I'm sure that they're popping up in smaller cities as well. I have done both. I have done the Smile Center and the impressions kit. So since I have the experience of doing both, I definitely, absolutely, highly recommend using the Smile Center if you can, because it is a really precise process, and they use like a machine and they digitize your smile as it looks now and how it will look once you get the treatment, and they send that graphic to you as well. It's like a GIF that shows you how your teeth will shift over the few months. So the reason that I had gone to both, so when I first applied for Smile Direct, I had gone into the Smile Center. They did my impressions, I guess you could call it, the 3D imaging, and it was done, and it was 30 minutes. It was a really nice process. The lady answered as many questions as she could. Honestly, I don't think she was a medical professional, but like, you know, I'm sure she's like just a girl that knew as many answers as she imagined people would ask, or at least that the company would imagine that she would, wow, I'm having a stroke. Questions that would be asked to her during the consultations. That process did feel a little bit rushed, because even though there are FAQs on the website and all that good stuff, sometimes you really just want to know more and feel like you leave with absolutely no questions and you feel confident in your decision. So the reason that I have done both is because after my retainers weren't fitting, I did have to reach out to Smile Direct, let them know, hey, my retainers aren't fitting, after I was completely done with the 6-month process. And I got my second pair of retainers. So the first pair of retainers fit me just fine and love them. But after a while, as I mentioned before, the retainers do stink. They are plastic that sit in your mouth all day. Unless you were born with perfectly straight teeth, like there's always going to be additional costs of keeping your teeth together. So just keep that in mind. Don't be deterred by the fact that you have to pay $99 every 6 months for a new retainer. And also they have really great deals, and their customer service is really great. If you use Smile Direct or any type of clear aligners, you know that sometimes like there is a little bit of pressure, but it was like one of those situations where it absolutely did not fit. Yeah, so that's one con that I have. I wish their centers or wherever they're storing information about our oral structure, like I don't know what makes them think that it has changed since the last time, you know what I mean? So I called them up and I was like, can y'all just print the same retainers that y'all gave me the first time I finished my treatment? Because those fit perfectly. They kept my teeth nice together. They didn't hurt too bad, but it didn't feel too loose. It was just like the perfect fit. So the second time, I keep going back to this question and not answering it. I'm so sorry. This is why sometimes I need a script, because my brain is just here, there, everywhere. Got my retainers in the mail. They didn't fit, so I had to call back and I was like, hey, these don't fit. But the Smile Center that was near me had closed, and I didn't have time to go to another one in DC because I was working all the time. And also it was a pandemic, so I kind of didn't want to go anywhere. So they sent me an impressions kit. You do pay $29 up front, but they give that money back to you. They give you a $29 gift card. So it doesn't go back to your original form of payment, but at least you do get it back. So it's technically free. If you've ever played with putty, that is essentially what the impressions kit is. They give you putty. You only have 2 minutes to make the form of your smile, and it's honestly a lot of pressure. They do give you, I think it's like 3 or 4 different sets. So like if you do make a mistake, they have 4 different sets of your teeth to kind of see which one seems more consistent with what your actual smile is. So the first one that I made, I didn't go deep enough, but like it had already hardened. There was no fixing it, so I did have to send that to them. It's a lot of pressure, so you have to make sure that you're ready and like you've read all the instructions. It's a longer process than just going into the smile center, having them put that camera in your mouth and take the 3D images of your smile. So if that's possible, I definitely recommend doing that instead of the impressions kit. I know it's easy to be like, well, the impressions kit, like I can do it myself, I'm in control of da-da-da-da-da, but you're also not a dental professional, so you can easily mess that up, which will ultimately mess up the impressions that they make for you and just prolong the process. As I have had to use the impressions kit twice since I have finished my treatment, because my retainers have not fit me on 2 separate occasions. So the second time that it happened, it was my fault. It was my fault. I accidentally threw them away. Make sure you put your retainers in the little purple container that they give you, because it's so easy they're clear. Like, obviously they're not invisible, but say you're eating your lunch and you just set them down and like you have a napkin, you can easily just pick it up, put it in your napkin and throw it away, which is what I did. The retainers take at least 2 to 3 weeks to make. Like, they're not just sitting in a warehouse. I still had my last pair. Always try to keep your last pair. So obviously don't have like a drawer full of like your stinky retainers, but at least the second to last retainer that you had, so you can just keep having 2 sets. The ones that you actually use and the ones that you previously had, just in case you lose the ones that you're actually using. How has it held up? I personally think, like, I'm satisfied with my smile. I think maybe somewhere down the line I will maybe get permanent retainers, or I can't remember what the procedure is called, but get that little piece of meat snipped. Would I still say that Smile Direct is worth it? I think it was worth it. I think like a few weeks ago, I finally got that message that my smile is fully paid off. If you haven't watched the first video that I made, I mentioned that the total of Smile Direct Club is this amount. I don't remember off the top of my head, but I'm gonna put it here. It's a cost-effective way to feel better about yourself. I'm definitely not one of those people that's like, you were born this way, you should be happy the way that you are. No, because like that's just not the way that life is sometimes. It's okay to be insecure about some things. Of course, ultimately still like love yourself, but if there's something that you want to change it. We go to the gym every day, like we put makeup on, we put wigs on. Like my teeth was just one of those other things that I was like, I want to fix this. And so I did. I think if you are not experiencing major oral happenings, like if your teeth aren't, you know, doing a lot, which is my nice way of saying, like if your teeth are like, if you just have a lot of spacing, or if your teeth are kind of like a little snaggled here and there, then yeah, I'm trying to sound nice. How do I say this? If your teeth are doing a whole lot in your mouth, and it's going to take a long time to move things around, and like, you know, there's a lot of crowding and a lot of overlapping with your teeth, I honestly wouldn't recommend Smile Direct, because it's really giving budget. And some things you can really just flex on your budget if you know your circumstances and you take the advice that people give. But there are just some, like, I just can't imagine. I don't know if I'm explaining this well, but I think if there's a lot going on in your mouth and it looks like it will be a lot of work for Smile Direct, which is like a budget version of Invisalign, then I wouldn't trust it, especially because like that's my smile. Although they say that there is like a licensed dentist or dental professional assigned to your case, I have never spoken to the lady that is supposedly my dentist. I truly think that they just put somebody's name, I could be wrong, but I truly think that they just put some dentist's name on there, and people at the call centers are like well versed enough that they can tell me what I need to hear. If I could actually talk to that dentist, it would make me feel, give me a little bit more peace of mind. So I do think it was still worth it and I would do it again, but that's the one element that I feel like was missing to give me peace of mind about how my smile was going to turn out. I never doubted that my smile was going to come out okay. I think it's actually kind of beautiful, but especially since I had like 2 mishaps and I had to start, I didn't even mention this, but I had to do another 3 months. I just finished another 3 months. Yeah, I don't know, just a little bit more professional guidance on what to do, like someone who understands what I'm actually going through for me to let my frustrations out, because it was starting to get annoying. Like, this doesn't fit again, like the replacements are not fitting as well as they should be, and da 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 da. So yeah, that is the one major thing that I would adjust about my experience. So I would say half and half, that it was worth it. With all of that being said, as I said at the beginning of the video, I would never bash this company. I think that they have amazing customer service. The second time around that I had to like add a few months to my treatment, even though it was 1.5 years after I had finished my first round of treatment, it was at no charge. So they were really great. I was able to take like 10-20 minutes to talk to the person on the phone and explain everything that was going on. Was she an actual dentist? I don't know, but here we are now, and my retainers fit me. My smile is cute. I still have a little bit of personality with my gap, but I don't know, I'm thinking about fully closing it. They have changed the way that I look forever. I appreciate them for that, of course. But I'm human, I have criticisms, and I mean, hopefully, it's been 2 years since I started my treatment. Since I've checked the website, I think they have a bunch of new elements that I never even had. Hopefully their structure, their model has kind of changed for the better for the customer. Take everything that I said with a grain of salt, but also understand that everything that I did just say came from the heart. I mean everything that I say, and I would never try to set anybody up, okay? I would never try to set anybody up. If you think you're a good fit, I definitely think you should check it out and use all the tools that they have to your disposal. I do have a discount code. It'll be in the description below. So yeah, if you're interested, I think you get to save $100 on your entire thing. But yeah, so that is it for this video. I'm sure there are so many different things that I haven't touched on. That's what the comment section is for. So, like I said at the beginning of the video, if you haven't, please hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you can, you know, be hip when I post. And to comment, I really want to know what you think. Have you tried Smile Direct Club? Are you thinking about trying it? If you have any other questions that I failed to answer, then just let me know and we'll chat about it. Here's my social media. You can also DM me on any of those. And yeah, I will see you in the next video. Take care.